Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Friday. Glad you're here. Before I get started, no, I'm not going on a rant about the Rangers or the Astros today. Decided not to. I'll figure out a way to talk about it without, you know, going all Dennis Lear, Dennis Miller on it, but not today. Today I'm going to talk about sports movies, actually one sports movie in particular, because it's my favorite. I'm talking about Hoosiers. Don't know if you've ever seen it. If you haven't, you need to go watch it. There's a lot of sports movies I love for love of the game, which if you strip out all the stuff with Kelly Preston, it's only like a 15-minute movie. But I like both versions, but I've seen the version where everything but the sports is stripped out. Still works. Draft Day, another Kevin Costner one. Field of Dreams, another Kevin Costner one. A lot of great movies. Hoosiers does not have Kevin Costner, and it's a great movie. Gene Hackman did not think it was going to be a hit. In fact, I saw a story where he was talking to Dennis Hopper in a basketball scene. He was leaning over and you see him talking to him in the scene. And he's basically telling him, you better save your money because you may not get a movie after this because this dog is not going to hunt. But he was wrong. It's my favorite sports movie, as I said. And it's funny because I only played basketball one season in my life. Now, I could draw a charge with the best of them, but I couldn't shoot to save my life. Hoosiers, to me, has always been about more than baseball, more than basketball. And don't get me wrong, I like basketball, but the seasons are so long and the games take so long. I've gotten disillusioned with baseball with pro baseball because of the pitch clock. I hate that. I love the shot clock in basketball, but again, the games just take forever. Now, that being said, I will watch men's basketball all day long, but I just can't get excited about women's basketball. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me, but I only get excited about basketball really during the Final Four, during the during the whole tournament, the NCAA tournament, and during the NBA playoffs. And actually, not even the first couple of rounds because there's like 4 rounds of NBA playoffs. So, but again, to me, Hoosiers was never really about basketball. It's about redemption. You know, Coach Dale is trying to claw his way back into the sport that he loves after making a really bad mistake. And I'm not going to tell you, go watch it. It's about discipline. It's about leadership. It's about this tiny school in Indiana that walks into a giant arena and realizes something important. The court is the same size. Coach Dale measures the court before the state championship game, and he shows the player that the dimensions are exactly identical to their little gym back home in Hickory. One of the players gets a grin on his face and sort of giggles a little bit. And they all realize, yes, the environment changed, the pressure changed, the crowd size changed, but the game and the rules of the game, they haven't changed at all. Everything's the same. And I actually used that lesson when I coached kid football, letting the kids know, your fundamentals, your jobs. Took them to the field before we got started. We all got to the it was called the Toy Bowl. It was in Wichita Falls. We were coaching Gerald Schallenberger, fraternity brother of mine, and I. We were coaching the American League Lions. Most of the kids went to a school called Ben Franklin, and the Lions, Ben Franklin, it was like a 9 and 10-year-old team. So they were young, they were pretty green, pretty impressionable. But even though we were just a really good team, they were really nervous about this championship game, and we could tell all week long in practice. So before the game, during warm-ups, we got them out on the field and we walked it off together. 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards. We said, here to here, it's 100. Here to, the end zone is still the same size. Sideline to sideline, still exactly the same. And then we turned around and said, now look at the stadium. None of that matters. Yes, they're here watching you. Yes, it's exciting, but that does not matter. Everything that matters is going to happen between these hash marks, between these white lines on the sides. The only thing that changed was what was going on outside the lines. And that's true in life too. It's easy to get overwhelmed because the stage gets bigger. New job, promotion, big meeting, big audience, higher stakes. And more salary, right? But most of the time, the fundamentals aren't going to change. Do your job, know your role, trust your preparation, focus on what's happening between the lines. Success is not always defined by the scoreboard. This is a point that Coach Dale makes to his team. And I understand competitors want to win. There's something innate in them that if they don't win, it just drives them batty. I always wanted to win. My players wanted to win. But Coach Dale told them, he said, if you put all of your effort into being better, if you put all of your effort into this game, into this time, into this moment, into this challenge, then at the end of the game, it does not matter what's on the scoreboard because you left it all out there. And yes, again, that's a hard lesson for winners to take to heart. But the deeper truth in all of that is sometimes winning is becoming the kind of person who can handle pressure without folding. It's showing up when other people quit. It's sacrificing for the team instead of chasing attention for yourself. Because no one person is bigger than the team. Not the star player, not the coach, not the loudest parent in the stands, not the guy who thinks the rules shouldn't apply to him. In basketball, it's 5 players, 1 unit. That applies in sports, business, government, nonprofits, families, everywhere. Gets me to another one of my favorite lines in the movie by Dennis Hopper, played a character named Shooter, an old burnout basketball fan, alcoholic, just barely hanging on. And Coach Dale wants to help the guy, so he brings him on as an assistant coach. And then he intentionally has himself thrown out of the game to put that spotlight on Shooter and let him really shine and show what he knows and show what he can do. He gets the team over. He tells them they're going to run this particular play. It's called the picket fence. Anyway, and then he says, now quit standing around and watching the paint dry. Now, what he's telling them in that moment is go do your job. There's so much wisdom in that because too many people spend their lives frozen, overthinking, waiting, talking, planning, complaining, worrying about things that don't really matter. The people accomplishing are the ones that are just moving and getting stuff done. They may not be perfect. They may have a lot of fear left in them, but they're moving. And most of the time, that movement is enough to change your life. So look at the field and understand all the external stuff doesn't matter. Look between the lines, go between the lines, and get your job done the way you know how. And that's today's Red Mike message. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you found it helpful. Because I was talking about pop culture in a movie that I'm sure my interns have not seen. I'm going to ask them about it when I get to the office later. And if they don't know, I'm going to tell them they owe me $1. None of them have paid up yet. Slackers. And by the way, Red Mike messages are leadership and life lessons I've picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. And again, I hope these lessons are helping you. Please give me a like, a follow, and a share. I'll see you again Monday. Have a great weekend. Go out there today, knock the cover off the ball. You know how to do it, and I know you can. And don't ever forget, life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you.